Hello， 大家好，又到咗星期四下晝呢個移民幫到你嘅時間啦，我係帶你奧視環球嘅 Jenny 湯嚇。哇，今日有個重磅嘉賓咧，就係我哋呢個。你話有嘉賓點解見唔到嘅咁嚇？因為咧佢仲塞緊車喎，轉頭嚟緊啦嚇，好在唔係坐緊飛機。我想話咧，佢喺紐西蘭飛緊嚟啦，咁就唔知等到幾時啦。佢其實已經係即係 on the way 㗎啦，咁司機咧努力緊啦，咁冇辦法啦，塞車就嚇。咁等一陣咧就會見到我哋香港呢一個駐香港嘅紐西蘭總領事Mr. Peter Lund 嘅Lund 嘅嚇，咁佢就應該我諗望都望到㗎啦就嚟嚇。好啦，咁今日嗰個 title 非常之有趣啊，咁就係喺呢個咁動盪嘅年代嚇，等我使唔使埋少少啊？OK。喺呢個咁動盪嘅年代咧，究竟全球最安全嘅地方喺邊度咧？咁我諗咗好耐啊，點解邀請紐西蘭嘅總領事咧？就係因為咧，而家真係哇，大佬仲咁啱美國嗰度嗰壇嘢啦嚇，大家都知啊，一陣間無端端又話有個人即係去選總統嘅前總統中槍，跟住轉頭有一個話我一定會再選嘅，咁佢可能講完唔夠3日就出嚟話我 sorry， 我都係退選咁，跟住呢邊廂又話點樣前途一片大好，轉頭又見到可能即係有啲嘢自己都搞唔掂嘅，點去即係再去為大家啲市民再去點樣去，我都唔識講下。咁所以咧，我哋就諗咗好耐啦。咁紐西蘭咧喺呢個地球零零舍舍好 secluded 嘅一個角落頭下，點樣為之 secluded 咧？就因為咧佢其實係喺呢一個即係叫做咩 Australasia， 即係 Australia 同埋 New Zealand 叫做中文係咩咧？我唔知中文叫咩 Australasia 啦，總之即係呢一個 continent 呢個 continent 嗰度啦。咁自成一國嘅，咁即係如果你話即係老實講啦，打仗有排未輪到打到咁遠啦，係咪先？咁如果你話講佢哋嗰個生活質素各方面啲嘢文化咁梗係等佢即係等我哋個總領事嚟到嘅時候再講啦嚇。咁但係即係嗰個安全嘅程度咧，我就覺得佢因為真係了無人煙啦，即係可能同你去Vanuatu 或者 Fiji 一樣都咁安全，因為老實講佢即係你真係好話唔好聽，就算打仗咁，我諗即係呢啲咁叫做佢其實佢好 neutral 嘅個國家。即係好似你話點解唔去瑞士咧？咁喂，咁瑞士都係一個好好嘅選擇嚟嘅，當然嚇。咁但係瑞士嗰個點講啊？即係如果你話搞移民嘅 program 咧嚇，咁我覺得紐西蘭都唔係平嘅，但係我覺得就值啦嚇，同埋佢真係有個咁嘅投資移民嘅 program 啦嚇。咁嗰個錢我都可以趁佢未嚟啦，相信呢一 part 都係我去負責講嘅，我都可以講一講先嘅嚇。咁紐西蘭咧，因為越係唔需要外面嘅錢嘅人咧嚇，即係佢自己已經好富裕啊，已經好穩健啊，各方面咧，佢就會將個門檻升到好高，即係佢唔會話我閂門啊，唔做生意啦，唔要你啲錢啊，咁樣又好似即係即係閂晒後門咁啦。佢就將佢提到好似新加坡咁，哇！你冇得10個億啊、8個億啊，你唔好嚟揾我啊！我哋淨係要上市公司老闆㗎咋咁，即係有啲咁嘅人嘅嚇，即係有啲咁樣嘅情況。但係咧，我哋而家講緊咧就係話佢係都提到好高類似新加坡咁樣嚇，我覺得咁佢嘅質素即係其實你對比你就知啦嚇，咁可能你有啲地方講緊土耳其仲係做緊40萬美金嘅超抵啦，一步到位搞到個護照，又可以搬去住，又可以唔需要搬去住，即係隨你喜歡嚇，咁仲可以攞翻嗰啲錢，分分鐘仲升值添。你買樓係咪？咁但係如果你話紐西蘭，其實佢嗰個錢真係尤其是個紙水啦，我琴日睇過下就對4個6毫半好似嚇，即係你港幣係4個6毫半對1蚊紐幣啦嚇。咁喂，大佬話佢而家講緊咧個 entry level， 你知唔知幾多錢啊？大家知唔知紐西蘭因為已經加咗價嚇？之前講緊300萬紐紙至1000至即係3 mil 至10 mil 紐紙啦嚇。咁3 mil 即係15萬港紙度啦，即係4.65啊嘛嚇。咁咧就至到10 mil 即是4600幾萬，即係差唔多5000萬港紙啦嚇。咁其實你就見到啦，香港投資移民3000萬超抵嚇，我哋香港咁高質素嚇，又咁安全，香港曾經係全球曾經第一最安全嘅地方嚟㗎，唔係國家係地方嚟嘅，第二好似係日本嚇，同埋新加坡。咁成日都係我哋幾個啊，以前啦嚇，19年之前，咁而家當然個世界變咗啦嚇。咁咧，但係而家紐西蘭咧，你出嗰個錢咧就係唔單止以前講嗰個3 mil 至10 mil 紐紙啦，佢升咗 好多嚇。咁咧就差唔多係一個 double。咁你見到啲朋友仔入嚟喎嚇，Mr. W，Hello Jenny，Ken Tam，Hi，Hello，King，Fight King，Hello，Jimmy Yip，Hello。嗱咁咧你就要係即係我覺得真係好努力咁去揾錢咧，先有機會搬去紐西蘭。咁但係我都覺得係幾值得㗎嚇。點解咧？咁嗰個質素啊、生活啊各方面就等我哋嘅總領事嚟到先講啦嚇。咁大家喺呢個手機啊、電話啊，或者喺呢一個iPad 啊旁邊嘅朋友咧，就快啲入嚟支持下我先啦嚇。咁喂，今日見唔見啊？喂，大佬，我真係好真係。好點講啊，真係好 formal 咁一個好 business attire 咁樣啦嚇。咁呢一個紐西蘭咧，話時話我其實就好想去啊，一路都咁次次去澳洲我就去好多次啦嚇。次次去澳洲咧，想去紐西蘭玩咧，都係咁啱我就即係啲時間假期冇咁多，去唔到即係另外一個 part 啦嚇。咁反而你話 Fiji 啊嗰啲，我真係去過下，咁都其實幾 happy 幾好玩嘅，但係就唔平咯嗰啲地方。咁係啦，咁大家如果對於紐西蘭啊、澳洲啊嗰啲地方啊、Fiji 啊，即係嗰個Australasia 有興趣嘅朋友咧，就可以入嚟打下招呼先啦。咁陣間有啲咩問題就可以等總領事嚟嘅時候再傾下偈啦嚇。咁關於呢個投資移民方面，喂，大家想唔想估下紐西蘭啊？究竟係佢香港開3000萬啊，3000萬，你覺得紐西蘭嘅投資移民開價會係幾多咧嚇？大家可以由以前嘅3million紐幣。你知唔知佢而家加到幾多咧嚇？係啦，有冇人哇？即係大家可能咧對紐西蘭咧，因為我都覺得呢啲地方咁遠咧，大家可能去旅行都即係未必係首選安排到去即係一個咁嘅地方先啦嚇。你話好遠又唔係好遠，因為澳洲好似9個鐘頭，紐西蘭都係9個鐘頭到啦，我諗下。咁但係問題就即係如果你有咁嘅 budget 咧，可能都會去咗澳洲先啊，未必會去呢一個紐西蘭度㗎嚇。咁有咁嘅 budget，有咁嘅錢，仲有咁嘅時間先會去晒兩個地方咯。好啦，咁我講俾你聽，佢貴，佢而家升咗，即係點講咧？佢咁勁，佢唔需要你啲錢咧，所以佢就開個價咧就真係唔平。講緊咧去到5 mil 至15 mil 啊，5 mil 至15 mil 紐幣，咁乘翻5咧就等於5、3、15，咁5、5、25啊，即係2500幾萬港紙起標㗎。好啦，咁我哋係 Mr. Lund. Hi, please join me.
I'm really sorry.
No. Come on, have a seat.
Yes, let's come.
Wonderful.
Are we live?
We are live right here. Can you see yourself? Yes. I have to speak a bit in Chinese first.
Please speak.
咁嗱，我哋終於請到我哋嘅總領事嚟啦。咁就Mr. Peter Lund。咁咧就一陣間佢會同我哋介紹下佢自己啦，咁我就會翻譯少少啊嚇。Sorry, I need to tell you a little bit like this is the camera.
Yes.
You will be looking at the audience, and of course look at me sometimes as well.
Yes, sure.
And I will translate every now and then. And so this is the screen that you can see what is going on. Right, so yeah, so here we are live.
We're live. Well, yeah. Jenny, apologies. Sometimes taxi drivers put you in the wrong place at the wrong time.
At least you're not in the wrong plane.
No, well that's true.
Right.
There's no point in stressing, is there?
Absolutely.
Life is
full of fun.
Life is full of adventure.
Exactly.
But my apologies and to all your listeners for arriving a little bit late.
No, we are expecting this for a long time. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Lund?
Thank you, Jenny. Look, I've been based in Hong Kong now for 14 months as Consul General for New Zealand.
Okay.
I've worked for our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade now for 30 years. I'm showing my age, but
you look so young. Come on.
I'm really delighted to be here. Hong Kong, New Zealand, and Hong Kong have a very long established, important relationship, and there's lots of really interesting work to do. I was previously working in the very small Pacific Island country of Tonga, so we get variety in our job. So, but look, I've been here now, as I say, for 14 months. I'm really enjoying the work.
Okay, I need a little bit of time just to translate a little bit.
Yes.
咁咧，我哋嘅總領事啦 ，Mr. Lund 咧就話其實佢嚟咗14個月啦，香港，咁佢就好中意香港啦。咁佢之前咧就喺呢個韓國啦，咁同埋咧咁佢就即係呢個即係一陣間就會同大家介紹一下啦。咁我冇咁多時間翻譯咁多 I have to just translate a little bit. So we got lots of interesting questions for you.
Yes, sure. We'll try and answer some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you think New Zealand is a great destination for Hong Kong people for us to travel to?
Well, yes, I think it is, and there are daily flights from Hong Kong to Auckland, and coming up from November, you can also fly direct from Hong Kong to the South Island of New Zealand to Christchurch.
OK，咁佢就話紐西蘭絕對一個好適合我哋去旅遊嘅地方啦，咁啊基本上日日都可以有機去到㗎啦咁。So what is so interesting about New Zealand as a travel destination?
Well, I think a lot of Hong Kongers like New Zealand for its beautiful scenery, and growing up in the South Island of New Zealand, where I grew up.
Oh, you grew up there?
Yeah, so it's spectacular. Lakes and mountains, glaciers. There's a lot of outdoor activities and adventure tourism.
Right.
And if you're interested in wine, you can sample some of our award-winning wines. And and New Zealand food's improved a lot.
Okay.
We always had good ingredients, but perhaps we didn't always, inheriting, dare I say, British cuisine, it wasn't always the greatest, but now we actually have a lot of really good food. Hong Kong, of course, is one of the great
thank you.
Great
so
places
佢就
to eat.
OK, I translate a little bit. 咁佢就話紐西蘭咧就好多香港人中意啦，就因為景色係非常之靚啦。咁啊另一樣嘢就係話佢哋有好多唔同嘅景緻，我哋譬如話去一啲比較特別少少嘅有啲 adventure 嘅冒險少少精神嘅朋友會中意去玩嘅嘢啦。咁啊同埋咧就好多嘢好食啦咁樣樣。So then for this is for holidays, but then if we want to move to New Zealand, so would you say it's a great place for us for Hong Kong?
Well, look, it's a New Zealand's population 5 million people spread over.
There's more sheep than people, isn't it?
Yeah, more sheep than people. That's true.
Right.
But look, there is some. So look, New Zealand's economy is I guess you'd say smaller than Hong Kong.
Okay.
But look, there are. New Zealand is a country of migrants.
Right.
So people have come to New Zealand from all over the world, including Hong Kong and China.
OK, so 咁佢就話紐西蘭真係好多唔同嘅人啊，即係香港、中國人都有好多喺嗰邊啦。雖然佢哋真係養咗多個人嘅。So then if you think that's good for Hong Kong, then I think most people would be interested about what kind of they're interested in, let's say, education and then I know you have this exchange program like Australia, like a holiday kind of thing.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, look, the working holiday program is a great opportunity. It allows young Hong Kongers to enter New Zealand and work across across a range of occupations. It really is a great opportunity. Some Hong Kongers come to New Zealand to study as well.
Right， 咁佢就話紐西蘭咧就有好多即係香港人中意喺嗰邊讀書啦，咁同埋佢哋有啲就係好似澳洲咁有個 working holiday 嗰啲好多唔同類型嘅工作都有㗎，咁啊大家可以去一路做嘢一路玩啊咁樣樣嚇，咁就so that would be more for students, but then we because our channel is all about savvy investors, and so there are lots of people looking for opportunities to make more money elsewhere. In addition to Hong Kong, obviously. So, what would you say would be a great investment other than vineyard or sheep or restaurants for Hong Kong people?
I do know there are some Hong Kong companies that have invested in power generation.
Oh, power generation!
In New Zealand,
wow, okay.
and recycling.
Okay.
And of course, I guess there's some property investment.
Okay.
So there's quite a range
okay.
of investment from, and New Zealand is very open. We rely on foreign investment. We're a small economy dependent on international trade and investment flows.
Right， 咁佢就話咧，其實紐西蘭一個好細嘅經濟體系啦，咁啊佢就好需要外面嘅外資啦，咁同埋咧就即係香港人佢見過有喺嗰邊，譬如係做飲食啊、買房地產啊、做呢個即係一啲能源嘅行業啊，咁各方面嘅行業都有嘅。But in terms of property, Hong Kong people are very savvy, as you know.
Yes.
And then how would you say what kind of prices are we talking about here?
Look, New Zealand's not the cheapest place to buy property. An apartment in Auckland, particularly a really nice one, or a house, would probably be over in New Zealand $1 million.
How big are we talking about?
Oh, well, that would. But you could, if you looked for a 2-bedroom apartment. You could probably be looking at 650, 700.
Oh yeah, that's double our size here. We 200 is I think here 2-bedroom is 400 square feet.
Yeah.
So it would be millions New Zealand dollar?
You might get a cheaper apartment. Prices have dropped a bit like Hong Kong.
Okay.
It's a bit more of an affordable market at the moment. But yeah, prices are relatively high.
OK， 咁佢就話喺紐西蘭咧，其實如果你買房地產啦，咁香港人最中意嘅啦，咁佢就話大約咧，如果喺翻即係呢個Auckland，即係佢個capital 啦，即係佢個首都啦，其實咧都係兩房嘅，圍到六七百尺度，其實都係圍到100萬，咁即係400零萬港紙，或者再平啲都有嚇。咁當然相對香港梗係叫做平啦咁樣樣。So but then like you know, we get some people saying hi to you. Law Water. He asked if there are more sheep than people in New Zealand. We answered that already. And Gigi Lee's hi Peter and Viking hi Peter. And Gigi said love New Zealand too. Oh, that's awesome. So you know we have this. A lot of people, you know, they know that like Australia or New Zealand is all about like work and life balance. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think New Zealanders do put quite a high premium on a work-life balance. We have wonderful access to outdoors. People enjoy going out and like Hong Kong too, really hiking and cycling.
Right.
So there is, and on the weekends, sport.
Right.
And is really quite an important part of what we do.
Okay.
So people, I think, work hard, but they also make some time to enjoy our beautiful environment.
OK， 咁佢就話紐西蘭人啊，真係會平衡工作同埋生活啦。咁啊，佢哋好多戶外活動啊，咁樣樣啦。咁啊，頭先講到就係行山啊，各樣啦咁。You know, just one thing when you talk about like you know having outdoor activities, you know a lot of people come to Hong Kong for Rugby 7, and I have one. I mean, not exactly a friend, Australian friend actually. He's actually he plays rugby, and the rest of the team are from New Zealand.
Yeah.
So like I asked your PA before that you don't play rugby.
I don't.
Okay, well, tell us a bit about rugby because we have Rugby 7 craze here.
Well, look, as you know, and look, we were thrilled, Jenny, that New Zealand won.
Yeah, all the time.
Rugby 7s.
Right, goodness, most handsome guys and big guys here every year for Rugby 7, isn't it?
And so both the men's and the women's teams won.
Okay, wow.
Won the competition this year. That was for the second time in a row. So I guess rugby has become really part of our national sense of identity. I guess it's one of the things that New Zealand does where we really push above our weight and we make a bit of a presence. So it really is something that sort of identifies New Zealand. You would have seen as well perhaps that the haka, which is the traditional Maori sort of war dance that
and they chant that, right?
They
That's
do that.
chanting.
They do that at the beginning of They not usually much time in the sevens to do the haka.
They do.
They do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So that's a very important part of it's rugby. I guess it's something that New Zealand's excelled at. So because we've done well. It's part of our national identity.
Right. Is it because you guys have like this build, like everybody is like you, like tall and big like that?
I guess so. We do seem to excel. There must be something in the water or the food.
Right. So 咁佢就話因為講開呢個欖球即係紐西蘭咧，個個都會第一時間諗起欖球啦。咁我就冇一個紐西蘭朋友打欖球，咁佢都話佢都冇打嘅，但係咧就好多都係即係澳洲嗰邊啦。咁佢話其實已經成為一個好熱門嘅國家，好 national 嘅即係國家會係好重點嘅體育啦、活動啊咁樣樣啦嚇。咁可能佢哋食嘅嘢、飲嘅水咧係令到啲人咁大隻咯，我覺得。So you know, other than rugby, you know, people also are very curious about movies there. You know, because you know that you know the Lord of the Ring, and I know that that director. I mean, online they said that he grossed in like millions of New Zealand dollars and share with the government. So can you tell us a little bit about your movie industry there and how that shapes the world?
Wow, look, we certainly the Lord of the Rings films directed by Peter Jackson were a huge success, and what they did, they really showcased New Zealand's scenery.
Oh yeah, the cliff and the mountains.
Yes,
oh my God.
Both in the South Island and the North Island. So look, it was a fantastic platform for New Zealand.
Right.
And look, other films you might recall about 20 years ago, a movie called The Last Samurai. With Tom Cruise.
Yes. I watched that one, yeah.
That was and I think Ken Watanabe.
Right.
That was filmed in the North Island, Mount Taranaki, which looks like Mount Fuji.
Right.
So New Zealand's beautiful natural landscape does lend itself as a fantastic location for filmmaking. One of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible films was also filmed in the New Zealand mountains.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Did they bring their own crew from America, or they hire locals?
Probably hired some locals
Okay.
and bringing in some expertise as well. But New Zealand's built up quite a lot of talent and technical skills in filmmaking. And it's someone like Peter Jackson has made a decision that he only makes films in New Zealand.
Oh,
so,
he got a very good deal with the government online. I heard 50% of the income.
So he is very passionate about making films in New Zealand.
Wow, I have this background in movie. Maybe I should think about like creating a business with you or something in the future. So 咁佢就話紐西蘭啦，另一樣嘢除咗 rugby 之外啦，就係呢個 movie 啦、電影啦。因為嗰個Lord of the Rings 嗰套戲咧，其實你都知大收啊，賺好多錢啦。咁啊，其實之後咧都仲有一啲唔同嘅美國嘅電影啊，各方面咧都有喺即係喺紐西蘭取景嘅嚇。咁啊，或者大家有興趣啊，拍電影有興趣咧，都可以睇下聯絡呢個紐西蘭嘅 consulate 啦，睇下有冇機會咧去structure 一啲deal 出嚟嚇。咁啊，我哋好支持噶，好支持電影噶，係啦。咁啊so also we want to know a little bit about your food because you mentioned about New Zealand food. And then Hong Kong people are all about food. We are food lovers. But there's no restaurants that I know of that serve New Zealand food
I guess
here.
because New Zealand's we're quite a young, traditional Maori. The Maoris are indigenous people who've lived in New Zealand for many centuries. But in terms of a cuisine, I guess as a modern country, we've got a very young history.
Okay.
But we do have great seafood, for example. If you go to New Zealand, I think you'd really enjoy some of our shellfish, our oysters, beautiful fish fresh from the ocean. And New Zealand lamb.
That one, of course, New Zealand lamb is like expensive but good.
And
Wellington, right?
Yeah, and look,
Expensive.
really good beef, lovely high quality vegetables.
Right.
There's some very recent waves of Chinese migration have meant that you can get some good Chinese food now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you have like a Chinatown there too?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
But look, Hong Kong food is hard to beat, Jenny.
Right.
But I think the quality of New Zealand ingredients is outstanding. I'd especially say our seafood is really good. And of course, some of our wines, you might be familiar with.
I know, like Marlborough for that white wine.
For Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc.
And for red wine, we do Pinot Noir, which is a lighter red, which I really like as well. So it accompanies New Zealand food really well. There's a lot of good micro breweries now as well. So you really can get, years ago, you probably wouldn't have said go to New Zealand for a culinary holiday. But now, I really think you can.
Interesting.
That said, Hong Kong's hard to beat.
Oh, okay, of course. And I mean, Hong Kong is well known for it's like a paradise for food, right?
It really is.
Thank you. I really like that nice comment from you. So 咁佢就話咧紐西蘭啦，講開嘢食啦，因為香港你揾唔到一間餐廳專係為紐西蘭菜㗎嘛。咁佢就話因為其實佢呢個飲食佢暫時都叫做新發展嘅領域啦。咁但係咧就佢哋白酒啊、紅酒啊好多都出名啦。咁佢哋羊肉啊係超級出名啦。咁我覺得紐西蘭嗰個威靈頓嗰個嗰啲 beef 咧係好好食啦，但係都係貴啦嚇。同埋即係羊肉都係貴，但係好好食咯。咁就可以即係大家諗下一個 holiday 咧，就專係去食嘢啦，其實都可以。So we know that a lot of people would go to Australia, like myself. I went to Australia every like quite a few years or something. But I never get a chance to go to New Zealand because it's like maybe you need more promotion or we are just ignorant about it.
Well, I guess we're a little bit smaller than Australia. Perhaps we don't loom as large.
Right.
But there is a lot to enjoy, so I would encourage you, especially with daily flights.
Right.
It's a long way. I have to say though, Jenny,
9 hours,
it is.
isn't it?
It's actually 11.
11.
11 and a
but
half.
I thought it's like 9 hours to Australia.
Yeah. Yes. 9. And then New Zealand's a little bit further
south.
south.
Oh, okay, right. That's right.
So if you fly direct,
11 hours. Wow.
If you fly direct from here, from Hong Kong, it'll take you over 11 hours.
So it's almost like going to London. 12 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that might be a bit of a disincentive, but once you get there, I think you really will enjoy yourself.
Okay, that's great. 咁佢就話其實都唔係好近啦，都講緊成11-12個鐘頭飛機嚇，咁啊但係即係而家都有直航同埋日日都係有飛機啦，咁大家可以就安排一下啲時間啦咁。So we also are curious about education system there because your education is one of the best in the world. And then can you tell us a little bit about your education system? Is that like British like us?
Yes, look, it is a British-based system. We have some very good universities. And in fact, here in Hong Kong, there's an active alumni group.
Oh, you do have?
Like the University of Auckland,
Interesting.
our largest university,
Okay.
has a very active alumni group of Hong Kongers who have studied there.
Okay. So 咁佢就話紐西蘭其實都係英式啦嘅教育啦，咁其實都有好多人去嗰邊咧係讀大學咁啊，香港佢哋有啲舊生會嘅都。And then we are very curious about that. You have a name. It's called Kiwi, right? I don't know how much you like people call you that. It's like people calling Hong Kong people honky. We don't like that. So I don't know about this kiwi fruit and the bird and everything. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It can get a bit confusing, but New Zealanders are happy to be called Kiwis.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and that's named after our national symbol, the kiwi bird, the flightless bird.
Yes.
It gets a little more complicated, of course, because we also have kiwi fruit.
Yes.
But that fruit originally came from China.
Yeah, I saw that online. I mean, I did a bit of
and then it's evolved and become a distinctive New Zealand fruit now.
Okay.
But its origins go back, I think, to Szechuan.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. 咁佢就話其實佢哋唔介意人哋叫做 kiwi 啊，因為其實原先有一隻雀仔係即係佢哋個 national 嘅雀仔啦，係 kiwi 啦，但係佢都有個植物，即係大家都唔係生過，我哋成日都食 kiwi fruit 啦，其實又係紐西蘭嘅即係代表啦。不過原本咧喺中國去喎，即係幾神奇，我都唔知道喎。So it's interesting that you have more animals than human beings in New Zealand, and it's like 5-1, isn't it?
I think it would be. We rely very heavily on both for our biggest industry is the production of dairy farming.
Right.
Production of milk-based products. So we do have large numbers of cows and a lot of sheep as well. So yes, that's very much sort of the life, I guess, the backbone of our economy. Even though most New Zealanders live in cities now.
Okay.
But livestock production is still really important.
OK， 咁佢就話其實大部分人咧都喺城市生活啦，但係佢哋主要嘅好多農業嘅嘢其實都圍繞住 dairy product 即係嗰啲咁嘅牛奶類嗰啲嘢啦嚇，咁啊所以依然基本上5:1嘅差唔多，佢好多動物嘅嗰度。So I know that I mean this title that I've created for you today in Chinese is sorry, I think it's a perfect title for right now because it's called during uncertainty times, like right now, is New Zealand possibly the best country in the world? Because it could be the safest one. So how would you, I mean, this is my impression, and you guys are neutral, politically neutral, you're far from everyone, and then people are very peaceful there. So would you have some idea to share with us on that note?
Well, we certainly do, as you say, live in a bit of a troubled world. We'd like to think that our corner of the South Pacific is a peaceful place, a good place to live and visit. We certainly put a high priority on being good global citizens. And yes, even though we're quite a long way from the rest of the world, we'd like to think that we are a nation of peace and prosperity. A good place to come and relax and perhaps get away from some of the troubles in the world.
OK， 咁佢就話其實因為而家真係時勢唔好啦。Oh, we get one audience saying hi to Japan ABC. Hi. And so 咁話時勢唔好係啊，紐西蘭咧咁遠係咪？即係喺個地球另一個角落頭咧，咁同埋佢哋真係好多嘢政治係中立啊，亦都冇乜敵人嘅。So I actually read that you don't have any enemies. It's not like the US and China. They have this very tense relationship. And you guys are like so chill about everybody.
Well, I think as a small nation, we rely on international trade. For example, China is our biggest export market.
Okay.
Most important, largest trading partner, but we also have very important economic links with the United States. Australia,
right.
we have a very close economic partnership with Australia. We recently signed a free trade agreement with the European Union.
Okay,
so
nice.
we rely on a broad range
okay.
of international connections.
Okay. So you would rather stay neutral and peaceful, right?
It's fairly important.
Yeah. 咁佢就話因為佢哋其實好即係靠好多外貿啦，咁亦都同好多唔同嘅國家簽咗呢個外貿嘅協議啦，咁佢就即係叫做要揾外面啲錢啊所謂，所以佢盡量咧都保持政治中立嘅。所以我覺得喺呢個咁動盪嘅年代咧，我覺得紐西蘭咧係一個好安全嘅地方啦。And I also know that you have been like not only once selected like Auckland and another place I think it's Wellington like top 10 most livable country in the world. You guys got like 2 cities out of like 10 on the top 10 position, isn't it?
Look,
Why is that?
They do seem to score well. I guess the quality of life. I think the New Zealand cities maybe have come of age with, as you say, a good work-life balance, lovely. Easy access to the outdoors.
Right.
And the quality. I think food's got better.
OK， 咁佢就話其實紐西蘭因為曾經我覺得我睇嗰啲榜咧就係都有幾次咧係頭10名全球最宜居嘅城市咧，佢有2位啦，就係 Auckland 同埋 Wellington 啦，其實都係好適合即係適合我哋人類啦生活啦。咁佢就話因為佢哋生活即係空氣又好啦，天氣又好啦，咁啲嘢食又好食啦，各方面又安全啦，咁所以都其實係非常之理想嘅生活嘅城市啦咁樣樣。So and then like another thing that we're interested about is like if we want to, for example, move over to New Zealand and some of us want to, let's say, start over or get a job or something. So what would be some like talents that you think would be like, for example, lawyers or like doctors or like scientists?
Yes, I think people with skills
Yes.
and experience. New Zealand does rely. A lot of young New Zealanders travel
Right.
and go overseas, so we often do need a talent pool of skilled professionals, engineers, for
Right.
example.
咁佢就話其實因為紐西蘭自己啲人又好成日都去旅行嘅，即係周圍去啦都係咁，但係佢哋都好需要一啲人才㗎。如果我哋係投資移民嘅，就頭先講咗啦，佢係由而家500萬紐幣至1500萬紐幣嘅。咁但係如果你係人才咧，律師啊、醫生啊、工程師嗰啲，其實都好多機會嚇。咁 of course we have lots of like professionals and talents here in Hong Kong. And then like because of the situation right now in Hong Kong, a lot of people are looking elsewhere for like you mentioned global citizenship, right? Like just a few more choices, especially like in times of uncertainty, as you can imagine. So that's a good choice, I think, in New Zealand. And because we said about like all these traditions and culture is different. How would you say your lifestyle there is as compared to Hong Kong?
I think it would be true to say New Zealand is probably a more laid-back lifestyle. Hong Kong's a very busy, vibrant, exciting city on the go all the time. New Zealand, I guess, is a bit more relaxed. I mean, Auckland is our biggest city, but that's only 1.4 million people compared to Hong Kong.
We have like 7 point something right now because many people left. Maybe we have 7 million only now. 咁佢就話香港好生活繁忙啦，啲人成日都係即係大城市咁樣樣啦。紐西蘭就比較即係超好多啦嚇，咁佢哋得140萬人，即係嗰個首都，即係佢個 Auckland 嗰度嚇。咁 so I want to know like because the other thing that we want to know about is your let's say culture. We talk about rugby and then you talk about sports, right? Like how is it different from Hong Kong's culture? Because we before we like nightlife, we start maybe about 9 or 10 and we go out about 10 or 11. People love to like party and go to all these nice places, and I don't think we are like the number one for outdoor sports. So what would you think or what would you say would be suitable for us?
Oh, well, in New Zealand, we've certainly if you like, it's certainly. I mean, Hong Kong, of course, there's a lot of outdoors to enjoy here. With hiking trails and things, but it is I guess it's a very dynamic urban culture, isn't it? New Zealand is, I guess, a bit quieter for those that are looking to enjoy nature.
Right.
I think there's a lot. You might find a lot to enjoy in New Zealand. But our cities are increasingly vibrant.
Right.
I'm proud of we have some very good art galleries and the performing arts.
Nice.
Well, both Wellington and Auckland
Okay.
we have a national ballet and opera and theatre
Right.
And orchestras.
That sounds like Sydney.
Yeah, so there is actually a lot to enjoy culturally, even though we're smaller in size than Hong Kong or other Western countries. There is there's quite a balance to enjoy. If you were looking to for a lot of, I think New Zealand has quite a bit to offer in terms of culture.
OK， 咁佢就話其實佢哋文化方面都係比較係即係 lay back 少少啦，咁啊比較都係即係我哋呢度咧就好繁榮即係繁忙啊，由朝做到晚啊，咁啊都好城市嘅嘢。佢哋可能就係比較即係注重翻平衡生活啊。如果你中意寧靜啲啊，咁啊即係叫做可以轉換一下環境啦。紐西蘭係一個好好嘅選擇嚟啦嚇。So of course people would like to make a lot of money first, I guess, before enjoying that kind of tranquility and that kind of maybe for a later stage. So that would make sense as well. But then because I know you have a background in history yourself, right? So how would you say because Hong Kong and New Zealand, we have very different historical background except the part that we're both British colonies. Then maybe you can tell us a little bit from a history angle, about New Zealand.
Yeah, well look, New Zealand, the Maori people, our indigenous people,
right,
came to New Zealand from Polynesia, many centuries ago.
Right.
And New Zealand then in 1840 became a British colony, and the Treaty of Waitangi was signed between the Maori tribes and the British Crown, and I guess that was the founding of modern New Zealand.
Okay. So 咁佢講其實紐西蘭咧，即係1840年嘅時候咁就係成為咗呢個英國嘅殖民地啦嚇。But then so this part we have the similarity to share because we became a British colony maybe 100 years ago, or 150 around there, maybe 150 I guess. But then you become independent eventually, right?
Eventually, yes. It was a gradual sort of process, and so we do share a lot of common things with Hong Kong, like British common law, and sort of a lot of cultural influences. We've evolved as this country at the bottom of the South Pacific in our own unique way.
Right. So I think 咁佢就話其實佢哋同香港有樣嘢相似，就係之前都係英國殖民地啦。咁但係佢都係慢慢咁去衍生到成為自己嘅國家啊。咁各方面有自己嘅 culture、自己嘅文化咁樣啦。咁 So now that we only have a few minutes left, and I think if anyone has any question about New Zealand, you can leave us a comment. We'll answer you as much as possible. And maybe it's time to ask you what's your impression about Hong Kong?
This is a great place to live and work. I'm really enjoying my time here.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
It's Hong Kong's a dynamic, exciting place. New Zealand has important interests here, as I think I said before. Hong Kong is our 12th largest export market.
Okay, 咁佢就好中意香港。
In its own right.
係啦，咁佢就好中意香港啦，咁啊香港好有呢個動力啦，咁啊同埋即係呢個生活咧，即係刺激嘅大城市生活啦，係咪？咁啊同埋 So what do you like most about Hong Kong? I know you mentioned about food.
The food is fantastic. One of the best places in the world to eat. I also love the fact that you can get to the outdoors very easily.
Right.
And there are hiking trails that you can get to very easily on public transport. Wonderful offshore islands. There really is a lot to enjoy.
OK， 咁佢就話其實咧香港就除咗頭先講啲嘢食佢中意之外啦，咁啊其實香港個係戶外活動咧其實都好多嘅，咁啊好容易咁啊，就算你即係嗰個公共嘅交通工具又好方便啦，咁所以就即係對佢咁中意outdoor嘅人嚟講咧，其實就好中意啦咁樣樣。And then what is your impression about Hong Kong people? I think we have to wrap up soon.
Oh, look, Hong Kong people are great. I really they're full of vitality, but very easy to get on with.
Like me.
Yeah. Hong Kongers are great people. I really enjoy engaging engaging with them. Yeah.
That's great。咁佢就話其實即係佢都好中意香港啦，又好中意香港人啦，因為香港人好似譬如做我咁啦嗰啲好有動力啊，即係好 dynamic 嘅嚇。咁就同埋就即係基本上可能佢都，and I know that you work in Korea before.
Yes, my very first overseas posting was in Seoul, in South Korea.
And then I would assume you like Asia overall.
Very much so. It's a great for New Zealand. We have very important links with Asia. Really important.
OK， 咁佢就話其實佢哋整體咧，佢之前喺韓國喺蘇喺漢城啦，咁佢都好中意亞洲嘅。整體嚟講就因為其實好多即係佢哋個國家啦，即係紐西蘭同埋亞洲都好多貿易啦，咁佢哋都好中意亞洲啊咁樣嘅。So we have you're gonna wrap up in few seconds. So is there anything you want to say to our audience before we say wrap up?
Well, Jenny, thank you for the opportunity to join you today. Very nice, great opportunity to engage with your audience. Please come and visit us in New Zealand if you get the opportunity, particularly the New Zealand summer coming up later this year. Direct flights every day to both to Auckland and 4 times a week to the South Island, to Christchurch and the South Island. As well, you won't be disappointed.
咁佢就話好多謝即係咁今日嚟見到同大家傾偈啦，咁希望大家會去紐西蘭玩嘅嚇。咁so I want to just wrap up and say thank you so much, Peter, for coming to my show, and I'm sure our audience enjoyed it, and we might even go there and make a movie at some point.
That would be great. And once again, Jenny, I'm sorry I was running just a little bit.
Late. At least you're on the right track now. Everybody loves you, I'm sure. So I want to say thank you again, and then we're going to say goodbye to our audience. Thank you and bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.